Hi friends, welcome to Teachers Learning Lounge with Jody. I've got a really great topic that we're going to be discussing today, and I want to start with the question. Have you ever gone home from work after a full day of teaching where you've been exhausted from the constant redirection, feeling like you've talked more about behavior than about learning? If so, you are not alone. But here is the great truth. Great classroom management is not about being the loudest voice in the classroom. Great classroom management isn't about control. It is about connection. It's about being the most consistent presence in the classroom. So today we are going to be diving into some classroom management strategies to help all of us create a more calm, a more structured classroom without yelling, without power struggles, without losing yourself in the process. Most of us were never really taught about how to manage a classroom. We were just told that we need to set expectations or we need to be consistent. But I was never taught how to do it in real time. When student emotions rise, when my emotion rises, or when one student just tests the limits every time. And I know right now you have names going through your mind because I do too. What do we do when a student rolls her eyes or challenges authority or refuses to participate? So here is what I've learned after spending years in the classroom and also coaching dozens of teachers. The best classroom managers don't have louder voices. What they have are calmer systems. Calmer systems. Teachers design environments where students know what's expected, where they feel it's safe enough to meet those expectations. So it's also not about being intimidating. It's going to be about being intentional. So we're going to look at some systems that beat loud voices every time. So first, before students can learn, they have to feel safe. And structure is what makes students feel safe. Safety actually comes from predictability. So students need to know what happens when they walk into your room. They need to know what success looks like and what to do if they're not sure if they're learning what they're supposed to be learning. So that means that students need routines that they can count on. They need entry routines. They need transition routines. They need clear signals to capture their attention. When students know what comes next, their brains end up relaxing. And that's why entry routines, transition signals, and clear directions are really so powerful. They take the guesswork out of learning. And remember, students like predictability. So here's a quick example. Greet students at the door. Have a visual either on a slide deck or written on the whiteboard. Here is what we're learning today. Here is what we're doing today. And I would add also, here is how you will know that you have learned what you need to today. You don't need fancy tools. You need some type of consistent signal to the class. Maybe there's a chime, maybe there's a countdown, something that is predictable. You don't need fancy tools. You need consistency. Because when students know what to expect, their brains actually can relax and your classroom is going to just feel calmer. And a calm, consistent classroom tells your students every day, this is a safe place. You know what you need to do to succeed here. So let's remember, friends, structure doesn't restrict freedom. It creates a space for it. Second, no strategy will ever replace relationships. The more connected your students feel to you as a teacher, the less likely they are to challenge your boundaries. In order to create this relationship, I have several suggestions. Number one, start small. You could greet every student by name. Make sure you pronounce their name correctly. Find one little personal detail that you can compliment the student on. When they misbehave, seek to understand before correcting. So for example, instead of saying, stop talking, Try saying, hey, you seem a little distracted. Tell me what's going on. And you would be amazed what happens, or you will be amazed what happens when we put a little empathy instead of first correcting. Remember, connection reduces correction. I once worked with this teacher who started the beginning of the week off with a 2-minute just check-in with the students. And it was interesting to see over the months working with her how her discipline issues seemed to decrease. Why? Because students felt seen and they felt like their teacher cares about how they're doing. I see this again and again. When students believe that their teachers genuinely like them, discipline issues drop dramatically. Notice something about your students. Notice when they come in with a new haircut. Notice when they have a cool backpack or a new sweater, something that they mentioned last week. Also, don't forget the power of sharing a little bit about yourself. Be careful. Sometimes teachers are known for oversharing and we don't want that. But students love to find where they connect with teachers. Here is a mindset shift I would love for you to consider. Misbehavior isn't disrespect, it's communication. Instead of saying, stop talking, try, you seem distracted, tell me what's up. You're not letting them off the hook, you're inviting students back to the learning. When students know that you care about who they are and not just what they can produce as students, they start to care about how they act in your space. One teacher called roll each day by asking students to respond to a prompt. What's your favorite ice cream? And then she would call their names and they would give that favorite flavor. What is something you like about school? What is the name of a person you admire? Remember that connection replaces correction. The third strategy is calm consistency. Yelling feels powerful in the moment, but it drains your authority long term. It erodes trust, it depletes your energy. Students will tune into tone more than they will to words. So the calmer you are, the more in control you're going to be and you're going to look. And when you stay calm, they see that you're the one in control, not your emotions. I have experienced that the best classroom managers are predictably calm. And this doesn't mean that they're not frustrated, but these teachers have built-in scripts and systems that actually protect their own peace. So I would like you to try this the next time a student argues, or maybe there's some students who are a little bit wild. Instead of matching their volume, lower yours. Slow your speech. Say, I hear you. Can we talk about this after class? Or, hey, I get that you're frustrated. Here's what you need to do right now. That's interesting. Tell me a little bit more. Can we talk about this right at the end of class? I'm going to set aside a few minutes for you and me to visit. One more afterthought. Always do what you say you're going to do. Follow through as a teacher. Don't make threats you can't keep. When students know your word means something, your authority grows without you even having to raise your voice. Remember, calm doesn't mean weakness. It means you're grounded. You stay composed and they lose the power struggle even before it begins. And consistency is what makes this powerful. So here's the truth. Classroom management is not about being tough. It's about being trustworthy for your students. Students follow teachers who make them feel capable, who make them feel safe, and make them feel respected. So start with structure. It creates safety. Build connection. It creates trust. Stay calm and consistent. That's where real authority lives. And these three things are going to outlast any trick or chart that you'll ever try. If you have found today's topic helpful, will you go ahead and hit like and subscribe and check out another topic that I would love to talk with you about and teach, and that is what to do when your students just don't care. So remember, you can have a calm, focused classroom, and you can still keep your joy and your peace in teaching. You can have a peaceful classroom without giving up your own peace. So let's make teaching sustainable, and let's make teaching joyful again. Thanks, and I hope you'll join me on another episode in Teachers Learning Lounge, a place where we learn together. Thank you.